Ahead of the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women observed on November 25th, a new report by the United Nations Women and the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime indicates that more than 5 women or girls are killed every year by someone in their own family. Of the 81,000 women and girls internationally killed last year, 45,000, around 56% died at the hands of inmate partners or other family members. Yahya Jammeh brings us more details of that in this report.
More than 5 women and girls are killed every hour by a family member, according to the United Nations report, which is a horrific reminder that violence against women and girls is one of the most pervasive human rights violations worldwide. The report also states that too many victims still go unaccounted for, with the deaths of roughly 4 in every 10 women and girls killed intentionally in 2021 not identified as femicide. The figures also show that the overall number of female homicide has remained largely unchanged over the past decade, underscoring the urgency for strong actions on prevention and response. Presenting the report on Wednesday in New York, the Director for Program Policy and Intergovernmental Division of UN Women, Sarah Hendricks, said, "Behind every piece of data, a woman is killed just because she is a woman."
Femicide rates remain at alarming levels, with more than 5 women or girls killed every hour by someone in their own family. And we know, of course, that behind every data point, behind every statistical point, is actually a lived life. It's actually a real woman or girl whose life has been very brutally and often very abruptly ended just because she is a woman.
Sarah said women's rights organizations are facing numerous challenges of life threats.
Today's women's rights organizations are operating in an increasingly complex environment where they're facing threats to their very survival, where they're facing a significant shrinking space for civil society, and where there's a growing backlash against civil society and against women's rights in particular.
Against women's section of UN Women.
In my life, I've known 4 different women who've been killed by gender-related femicide. And in each of these situations, it was not recorded as a femicide. And so this approach to shifting the statistical gathering of this data is absolutely critical to be able to track and understand that context, because context matters.
The International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women will mark the launch of the Unite campaign on November 25th to December 10th, and initiating the 16 days of activism concluding on the day that commemorates International Human Rights Day on 10th December 2022. This campaign, led by the United Nations Secretary General and United Nations Women since 2008, aims to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls around the world, calling for global action to increase awareness, promote advocacy, and create opportunities for discussion on challenges and solutions. This year's campaign is Unite. Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls will aim to mobilize all society to become activists for the prevention of violence against women, to stand in solidarity with women's rights activists, and to support feminist movements around the world to resist the rollback on women's rights and call for a world free from violence against women and girls. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Yahya Jammeh.